What is up, Unity community? Welcome back to another official Unity live stream here on twitch.tv/Unity, and of course, the official Unity YouTube page. My name is Jackson. I'm one of your community managers, and it is my job to bring you all of the content that you see on these channels. It is our hope that you come to these live streams, connect with your fellow Unity community members, and leave feeling a little bit more educated, informed, and capable, maybe just a little bit inspired. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out for today's stream. We do have a great one. We've got a free pro training session with the one and only Sarah. Lots to learn, lots of knowledge in the room. Sarah's going to absolutely crush it. She's going to knock your socks off. You're going to learn so much about splines that, oh my goodness, it's going to blow your mind. But of course, so grateful to have you here, whether you are watching on Twitch or on YouTube. Be aware that this is a conversation and we want to connect with you all. So if you have questions throughout the stream, please let us know. If you have comments, throw them in there, connect with each other, chat, help each other problem solve. It is so very cool to see. What we would love to hear from you all, as it is, I say it every single stream, it is so heartening to see just how far the reaches of the Unity community go. So if you could let me know where in the world you are tuning in from in the chat, that would be fantastic. And if you are watching this as a VOD after the fact, take a look down at that navigation bar, as it should be conveniently chaptered out for you so that you can skip ahead to whatever section of this stream appeals to you most. So thank you all again very much for being here. I'm thrilled. Happy Thursday, everybody. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into some things here. Two big things here. First, and we'll keep it brief, but today is my last stream with Unity. It is my final one. I've been here a little over a year. I've really enjoyed growing this channel with you all, trying a lot of new things and creating different types of content, bringing in a ton of different Unity faces as well for you all, and connecting with you guys once or twice a week. It's been absolutely incredible. I promise my voice is, I'm not cracking up. It's just my voice. I need water. Give me 1 second. But yeah, this will be my last one. The streams will continue. We will be bringing in new and familiar faces to help keep the things going. We've got streams planned for next week as well. And producer Jack's going to continue to work behind the scenes to keep everything flowing. So you guys are in good hands. I promise that you'll continue to enjoy this community space, because it's very important to me and very important to many other people here as well. So thank you all very much for being so supportive, inviting, welcoming, encouraging in the year that I have been here. It's been wonderful connecting with you all. I did this during last stream as well, but if you would like to keep up with me, I do my own streams on Twitch 2 to 3, usually 3 days a week. Right now I'm playing Silent Hill 2, twitch.tv/flanneljax. Come on over anytime. I know we had The Bull and Mr. Awesome and a couple others come through on Tuesday. So it'll always be exciting for me to connect with the Unity community. So come on over whenever you feel like it. And enough about me, because it's never been about me. You know what I mean? That's the great thing about these streams, is I got to bring all of the content to you all, but then kind of set the stage for other people to step up and take that spotlight, which I absolutely love. So before we dive into today's stream, we're going to be talking about Unite. We've got some big things coming at Unite 2025. Reconnect with the Unity community as we return to Spain for 2 full days of learning, networking, and memorable experiences. We'll be showcasing inspiring stories, demos, sessions, our annual keynote, after-hours events, and more. For more information, visit unity.com/unite or scan that QR code on the screen. I went to Unite last year. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt from my time at Unite last year. It says it on my sleeve. Go and check it out if you are at all able. Now, I understand I'm in Canada. To jump all the way to Barcelona might not be super attainable for everybody. If it is all something that you can do or convince other people to pay for, highly encourage. Otherwise, if you're not able to make it there, there will be live stream programming for you all. So make sure to come back and check these channels and continue to keep an eye on things there as well. So go check out Unite if you can. Keep an eye on these channels if you can. And with that, Unity community, I think it's time that we jump all in to today's stream. Please welcome back to the show a legend from the pro training team. Say hello to Sarah. How are you?
That was a crazy intro. I don't know how I'm gonna follow up with that.
I have a lot of
Dude,
weird energy today.
you know what? I get it. Last stream,
hmm
make
hmm
it
hmm
count.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you, Jackson. It's
Oh,
been real. You've been keeping it real. You're a real one.
thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I've always enjoyed working with you as well. I've been so lucky that all of the collaborators that we have here are just so knowledgeable, eager to connect with the community, and eager to share that knowledge and experience. So, again, when I say I'm stepping away, but leaving you all in the Unity community in good hands, it's people like Sarah, people like Joy that will be hosting next week's stream. These people are the ones that are eager to take care of you, to inform you, to educate you, to bring you all together and provide a space for you. So there's lots and lots and lots of cool opportunities coming up for sure. Mr. Awesome calling out, hello, maker of elf cannons.
Oh my
Of
god.
course, your first stream with us, Sarah.
I think that
We
was, yeah.
Ragdoll Physics. It was in December last year, and we said, well, if we're doing Ragdoll Physics in the holiday season, could we make
It's
an
gotta be
elf on
Christmas
the
themed.
shelf? So yeah, we did a whole winter wonderland and launched elves out of cannons, and that was a 90-minute part of our day. And wow, how lucky are we that that's something that we got to do for work?
I know. I can't believe I
Super
get paid
fun.
to do this.
I know. Speaking of, if anyone is maybe just catching you for your first time, Sarah, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your time at Unity, your responsibilities here, and then we can talk a little bit about pro training afterwards as well.
For sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Sarah. I actually am a pretty recent Unity person. I joined around a year ago, around the same time as Jackson, actually. Fun fact. So that's pretty cool. I'm a content producer for the pro training team. So what that means is I make all of our on-demand content, which essentially just means content that is video recorded that you can view at any time. I have a couple of courses up on Unity Learn, actually, which is our free site. If you've ever seen the UI Toolkit one, yeah, I did that one. So you can check out a couple of my courses on Learn. Or if you are, I think, Unity Enterprise or Unity Industry, you can check out protraining.unity.com, where you could see our catalog of on-demand content. And occasionally I do fun stuff like this. I do fun training, live engagements. Like I love doing the live streams. And
Woo!
stuff like expert labs. Stuff like expert labs. If you've ever gotten like an email or a LinkedIn notification for that, I help out with expert labs every now and then. Those are free, advanced gaming content for you all. And we're actually having one tomorrow. I don't have the link. My bad.
I'll get
But
it.
yeah, it's somewhere. I don't know where the link is for the expert lab. I like
I'll find it.
I'm running it. Don't know where the link is. I'm just gonna show up to the Zoom link in my email, and it's gonna be fun. But we're doing some shader graph stuff. We're doing like very baby's first shader graph. So if
Fun.
you want to learn shader graph, come to the expert lab tomorrow at 12 Eastern. I don't know what that would be for everyone else.
12 Eastern is 9 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. GMT.
Yes,
Heck
exactly.
yes.
Thank you, God.
The voice.
I
The
know.
voice beyond from beyond.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'll keep looking for that and see if I can get a link for everybody. But
It's
Mr.
somewhere.
Awesome calling out in chat that Unity Learn is a great resource. It's been really cool. The stream next week is actually featuring the Learn team and some of their new content, which is great. We always love doing those streams, but it's really awesome to see the number of times in my time here that people have come into the streams while we're live and they're like, I'm brand new to Unity. Where do I start? And the number of people that are just like, here's learn.unity.com. Go have fun. And people being like, oh, that's great. That's super exactly what I need. So we often joke, especially with Shader Graph on Shader Graph Day with Ben, that we have the most incredible resources that nobody knows how to find. Like
Yep.
Ben jokes about how if you want to hide something from someone, put it in the package manager in the engine and somehow no one will find it. So that's another one with kind of the Learn content. It's sometimes the best kept secret that people are like, I don't know where to go. And as soon as we're like, here's a resource with I don't know, hundreds of hours of content and learning, people are like, oh, this is exactly what I need. So we'll continue to spread the word of the Learn team. So that's fortunate. But Sarah, great to have you back. Thank you for taking some time away from the pro training team to join us here. I really hope that you're able to continue to do so once I'm gone as well. I know that you said you love it, and we have people working behind the scenes to continue the streams. You're a great fit. Keep coming back. Keep
Oh
doing
yeah.
it. I'll leave a note on everyone's desk and tell them Sarah gets priority. So
They're
it'll
gonna
be
have to
great to have
stop
you.
me.
Of course, of
I'm
course.
gonna-
To let people get to know you a little bit more. What are you playing right now? Normally I'll ask
Ooh.
what's your favorite game, but what are you playing right now?
I picked up a game just last night with a couple of my friends. It's called Murky Divers. It's a
Hmm,
Steam game. I think it's Unreal Engine 5 if anyone is interested. It's like a horror game. Okay, it's like as if Lethal Company was
sure.
underwater and like
Subnautica
there's
meets Lethal Company.
yes,
Sure.
and there's like really freaky monsters and stuff, and you swim around
Sure
and they
are.
have proximity chat and you have to drive a submarine, and I have never screamed so loud in my life. Like I play a lot of horror games with my friends. I'm a horror game junkie. I love horror, but like something about like the deep ocean and like weird
Agree.
monsters beyond our human comprehension, like it scared the crap out of me. Like I
Yeah,
screamed
I
so
get that.
loud, I think people in my house thought I was dying. Like and I kind of was.
Yeah. Um, Subnautica alone, just like being
Oh
out
my god.
in the open ocean, I was like, oh, this might not be my vibe. But I've
Uh-uh.
been, like I mentioned earlier, I've been playing Silent Hill 2 lately, and I've been screaming about, oh, she has a knife, oh, she's getting, and I'm like, I have neighbors that I share walls with, and I'm really hoping that I'm not going to get a knock on the door and hear sirens on the street type of thing. But we just got to be careful with the way that we yell about horror games, I think, is the takeaway here.
Oh my god. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I live fun fact, I live in a house with my mom, and sometimes when
Mm.
I'm playing games at 12 in the morning screaming my head off, I will wake my mom up upstairs through the ceiling, and she will be like, "Are you getting murdered? Are you okay? Do I need to call someone?" I'm like, "Nope. Just playing
Good.
video games, mom."
That's it. That's it. And with that being said, I think it's time that we jump into splines. Now, I will warn everybody
Yes.
that my brain wants to say spleens every time, and I know that's wrong. So if it happens, try not to make too much fun of me. It's my last one. Be nice to me. But Sarah, let's start at the top here. What is a spline?
Yes. So the whole reason that I kind of wanted to do this stream around splines, and it's like what you were saying before with Ben, is like if you want people to never see something, put it in the package manager.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Splines is one of the most underrated Unity packages that no one knows about. Like it is so useful. I use them all the time. And like whenever I tell people about it, they're like, "Wait, Unity has that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. We've had it for forever." So I'm going to show you guys the magic that is splines. If you've never used splines, they will make your life so much easier.
Love it.
But as for what a spline is, it's a little hard to explain. It's a lot of like mathy math, nerd math.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, if you've ever used something like the pen tool, like in Photoshop or Illustrator, if you've ever heard of like a Bezier curve in a lot of those
Sure.
like 3D modeling programs, it's basically just a line that you can add curves to and like you can do cool stuff with it. I'm going to show you more about that in just a second. But if you've ever used the pen tool, if you ever used a
Yeah.
Bezier curve, you know what I'm talking about. And
Sweet.
Unity has that in our engine. Very cool.
And you didn't even know about it, most of
Mhm.
you, some of you. Mr. Awesome saying it's a mathematical representation of a curve through points. Does that summarize
Exactly.
it simply? Okay, great,
Yes,
great,
it
great,
is
great,
a
great.
mathematical representation of a line, and the different points on the line influence the curve of it. It's like it's a lot of math for the
Perfect.
math nerds out there.
But it's doing the math for us. We don't have to do the math.
Yes, no, there's no math
Cool.
involved. You will not have to add any numbers today for
Yes.
people who
Oh my
don't like
goodness.
adding.
I've just every morning I wake up and I'm like, I hope I don't have to math today.
Oh
So
yeah,
this is great.
same
And
here.
it's very entertaining that a lot of times I preface a stream with like, what is this topic we're discussing? Today may be one of the truest moments of like genuine question of like, I don't know what this is. Please tell
That's
me. So
okay.
that's
That's
why we're
okay.
here, and that's why we have you, Sarah.
You
Um,
don't need to know because
no,
I know.
good. Good, good, good. And that's why we bring the subject matter expert every time. Now, how do we get started here? If someone wanted to create this, What's the process? Where do they find it? We know we hid it. We hid it away in the engine.
We
How do people
did.
get to it?
I got you. Can I get my screen on the screen? Thank you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jack. So, in
Mm-hmm.
order to get splines inside of your Unity project, it is so baby easy. All you have to do, come to Window. If you're on a Mac, I'm on a Mac. Windows instructions may differ, but you come to Window, Package Management, Package Manager, and then inside of the Unity registry, you're going to look in this fancy dancy list here, scroll down until you hit Splines. Um, and then you click this button here. If you don't have it installed, the button should say install. Click the button, and then you have it in your project forever and ever.
This is I guess, a bigger question that you might not have the answers to, Sarah. But why is this not a default thing? Is it just trying to keep the editor, like, do we not include all of these packages default because we try to keep the editor as like agile and low profile as possible?
Yeah, it's mostly because, at least from my knowledge, is that
Yeah,
we try to make Unity as accessible as possible. And so we don't
sure.
want people having to install like a 30 gigabyte program onto
Okay,
their, laptop of any specified build or age. We want Unity to be able to run really nicely on low end and high end devices.
sure.
So we basically strip everything out to the bare essentials. And then if you
Yeah,
need something bigger, you can install it just to make sure that you do not have to
perfect.
install like 50 gigabyte program
Gotcha.
in order to get started with games.
Gotcha. I'm laughing because Corey's in the Twitch chat saying Agile never Unity loads so much by default. So I guess, we're doing our best, but there's still a lot.
Oh,
It's I
yeah.
guess what we're doing here.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Unity
but
is
now
not for the weak.
toughen up. You're about to use Unity. Okay, so you've installed your splines. You're ready to go.
Oh, we're
What's
ready.
next?
All right. So I need everyone to pay very close attention. If you blink, you might miss it. So,
Okay.
in order to create a spline, all you have to do, don't blink, you'll miss it.
Mm,
Right click here, come
yeah.
down to spline, draw spline. That's crazy, right? I know,
Show
right?
me. Show me it working.
So essentially, the way that we can create a spline inside of Unity is you saw what I just did. I went down to spline, draw spline, but we also have some other options here. You can make a square, a rounded square, a circle. Essentially, you just get pre-made shapes that you can use. So like if I were to click square, I have essentially just created my tiny little square spline. It's very cute. And you can see inside of the scene, it's basically just a bunch of lines. And you can see inside of the inspector here, we have this component called the spline container. So you're going to see these things called knots. And you can think of a knot as essentially a point on the line. You come into the knot here, you can see like all the different properties of the knot. You can set like the tangents. You could set it to like a bunch of stuff. You could set the coordinates of each knot so I can mess with it manually if I need to. There's a bunch we can do with our knots here. But I'm just going to keep it as a square for now. And instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this over and I'm going to show you the draw your own spline tool. So if you've ever used a program like the pen tool, if you've ever used a Bezier curve and stuff like Blender, this functions really similarly. You click a point, you can bring your mouse out and you can see the line here. And I will say it does align to game objects in your scene. So like it's automatically going to place itself on top of my plane that I have. So you can click to
Mhm, mhm,
place,
mhm, mhm.
and then it's automatically going to curve itself. So you can click a bunch, place these wherever. And then if you hold down your left click, you can create a little curve here. So that's kind of like, again, the Bezier curve using the pen tool that I was talking about. You can make all types of weirdo shapes. You can connect it. And then when you're done drawing, hit escape. And then we have our spline here.
Cool.
So this is essentially the easiest way in Unity to make a custom path. I know there's like a
Sweet.
couple of like packages out there that can do this for you. Like some
Packages.
yeah, some that one got me. Some third-party packages, but I think that the Unity provided one is the easiest.
Got it.
So now we can see our beautiful curve here. And now let's just real quick talk about some other things that we can do with splines. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do today specifically, which is instantiating stuff on splines and basically making it super easy to place stuff. But I real quick want to point out that with splines, you can actually do some cool stuff like animating on splines. So like I believe if I add the spline animate component onto this,
Mhm.
like, and I drag my spline in here, and then oh wait, no. Wrong. I have to get an object. So
Get an object.
let me get my haystack here. That's so sick. Look at that. Haystack. And I'm gonna put the spline animate component on it, pop my spline on there, and now what my haystack will do is it will move itself along my spline
Oh, okay.
with this thing down here. So if you've ever played one of those games that's like on rails, like the first one I think of is like
Oh.
Klonoa. If anyone has played Klonoa, if anyone's played like I don't
What
know, you
about
know, like
like Time Splitters? Time Crisis. Thank you, Jack.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
On rail shooters.
Yeah, like on rail shooters or
Okay.
like any 2D, 3D games that are like on rails where it's a 3D game but you're constrained to 2D. Yeah, whatever. This is how you can kind of make those games a little easier using
Cool.
splines. You can draw
Sweet.
your spline out, move your object along the spline, and yeah. So that's how I would make like an on rails game if any of
Yeah.
you are interested in that. But
Yeah.
the main thing I want to talk about with splines is how to make some cool stuff with splines. I
So we have Corey calling out roller coaster. My brain went to like I have there's a train in my environment. It'll just roll around and like chugga chugga.
You could do
Those
that.
types of, could you, and again, no very little to no dev experience, could you use this to do like a NPC patrol path?
You could.
There's
Um,
better ways.
there's probably better ways, but if you wanted to just do like a super simple animation of like a person walking around, you could definitely use a spline for it. If you just want to make your life easy and move it along the spline with a script, just
Sure.
be like, yeah, play the walking animation and loop around. You could totally do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Um, but the
Did it.
main thing I want to show is this really cool feature where if I go to spline, I'm just going to make my square again, and I'm going to make the square nice and big. So the cool thing about splines is not only can you move objects on them, you can instantiate objects on them as well. And what I mean by that is if I come over to my spline and I click add component and then select spline instantiate, and these are all scripts that come with the package. These are not like custom written whatevers. I can now add items to instantiate to this list. So I'm going to click this plus button and I'm going to show off this fence, for example. I can
Oh,
basically create fences along the spline.
cool.
Looks a little weird, I know, but I'm going to change the forward axis to object X. And now I have just basically instantly
Oh.
made like a little gated pen here.
Ooh.
I know. For people that are making games, I know one of like the things that take up the most time is creating the environment, especially for people like level designers or environmental designers. I know that, you know, placing this stuff can be a headache. But I find that if you're placing stuff in like a straight line or along a certain path, splines make it really easy to do so.
Mhm.
Um, and so what I'm also going to do with this is I'm going to change the alignment of this because I kind of hate that. So I'm going to align it to linear distance, and I'm
Okay.
gonna keep that distance on. Let me see what happens if I go put it on auto. Oh,
Quick and
that's
easy.
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of like. Oh, that's a little weird.
it's a
Kind of
little
makes it
jank.
look a little more realistic, actually. I kind of like
Except
that.
that one in the bottom left corner for some reason. Why did that one
Yeah.
not go anywhere?
Oh, you. Well, here's the cool
You.
thing. Here's the here's the cool thing. The first cool thing is that, and I believe if I edit my spline, it's automatically going to change the way that the fences position themselves. So if I wanted to,
Whoa.
yeah, if I wanted to change the shape of my pen, I can do that. Which, in
This
my
is cool.
opinion, is the coolest part of splines. You can basically make procedural shapes and have them do whatever you want, basically. So I could change it so that that fence disappears, or what I could do is I could just do something like that, hit bake instances, and then
Sure.
it's just gonna like create individual game objects of all these fences. I'm going to
Whoa.
select this individual one, gone. So now I have my really cool fence object here ready to be used. And so again, you can use this for a ton of stuff. Like if I wanted to make like a massive fence or like a wall, I think in here I actually have like a bunch of walls. So let me like just draw like a crazy thing. So like let me make
Mhm.
like a massive, just like there we go. So if I wanted to make this like a massive room or something, I
Mhm.
could go to Spline Instantiate, press this button. I think if I type in, I should have a wall in here. Should be a wall. Which wall do I want to use? I don't know. They all look the same. I'm gonna do the 2 meter. I can make a bunch of walls.
Dominoes.
I know you could actually make. You know what? You're
What?
right. You could
Are we
actually
making a
make
domino
dominoes.
chain today? Did it just change? Are we doing this live? We're making dominoes now?
I actually kind of want to try that. Wait a minute.
Hey, maybe that's our extra credit at the end.
Yeah. You know what? We'll do that
Okay.
at the end.
Let's stay focused. I know that for both of us that can be a challenge sometimes, but let's stay focused on the plan and then we'll come back for a fun domino effect
Yeah,
later.
we
Okay,
can make
great.
whole dominoes. So I'm gonna
Sweet.
set the forward axis. So now I kind of have this like cool wall thingy here. If I set the linear distance and kind of mess with that, I can get something cool looking. But another cool aspect of this is that you can actually instantiate multiple objects on this, and set like the probability of each one appearing. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm going to create another object to instantiate in here. I'm going to replace this with the window. And you'll see right now we don't see any windows. Our wall is entirely wall. That was a great sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sweet.
so
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do is let's say for example, I want this like wall here to be half wall, half window.
Mm-hmm.
All I have to do, change these percentages, and
Whoa.
you'll now see that we have some like evenly distributed windows.
Is it just kind
Uh,
of random?
yeah, it's completely random.
So it is 50-50, but it's not like every other, it's not patterned. It is 50% though,
Yeah,
correct?
so like
Okay.
every time you make a wall, you flip a coin. Is this a window? Yes. And you can mess with the like amount of oh, what did I do? You can mess with the amount of windows and instances on the spline. You can do just a raw count. So if I want a maximum of 207 windows, I can do that. Let's say I want 600 walls and windows. I can do that. Or you can have Unity automatically calculate how many windows you need to
Oh,
fill
whoa.
in the distance. Yeah, very nice.
Cool.
Uh, so I could totally see this being used for something like an endless runner. If you ever want to have like an endless runner, you can just regenerate or randomize your spline every single time you like get to the end
Mm.
of it. So this is totally a great way to do like again infinite runners where you have like different stuff. It's great for procedural generation. And what else was I going to show? Right, yes. So we have the walls over here. I'm going to move this gigantic monstrosity over here. Goodbye. Um, I like to use splines for stuff like stacking. If you've ever like had like a stack of books or like any decorations,
Hmm.
like stacks of whatever, I find it really boring to just make stacks. So I actually personally use splines to make stacks of stuff. So if I'm
Stacks
gonna
on
do
stacks on stacks.
exactly
Right,
stacks,
right, right.
I'm making stacks.
No, you said it was boring and you don't like to do it, so none for you.
Exactly. So I'm going to select this knot here, and it's kind of when you draw a spline, you can't really draw it up. So you may have to like manually go in here and change it. And I'm going to change that position to 0. I'm going to change that position to 0. And then I'm going to make this like 10. So now we have this massive line just like shooting straight up.
Cool.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add spline instantiate, and I'm going to make a stack of hay bales because I'm making a farming game. I mean, we have the fence here. We got the hay bales looking a little weird. Let me. No. No. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. We're close. Hold on. We're close.
What am I doing? I don't know.
There we
Whatever
go.
you
There we
want.
go. There we go. There we go.
Whatever you want.
There we go. So now we have our hay bales here. I'm going to Make it so that the linear distance is auto. That's not what I wanted. Sometimes you have to play around with this a little bit to get it exactly how you want it.
Right.
And that looks good. We got like a nice stacks here. So right now, this kind of looks a little weird. We have like a straight up tower of hay bales, which doesn't exactly look too realistic.
I don't know. The bull literally says this is exactly how farms look.
This is exactly how
So
farms look. If any of you have ever been to a farm, this is exactly what it looks like. So I feel like when people stack things, things are not usually stacked like perfectly on top of each other, rotation wise. They're usually a little off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come into these offset, whoa, I forgot the word. Offset things down there. My brain is shutting off. And I'm just going to select position and select rotation. And now what I can do in here is I can actually override the original placement of the spline to whatever I want. And I can do the same with rotation. I can rotate them and do all this crazy stuff. And you'll see right now, if I do exact, it affects every single hay bale the exact same. But I
Mhm.
can change this to random and essentially have my hay bales be set to a random rotation between 0 and let's do like 360 degrees. So now I can have my hay bales randomly rotated between 0 and 360, making it look a little better. I can also offset the X a little bit. So, like, if I want to have them slightly shifted over, oh, this looks like a Jenga tower. Uh, let me
I like the disconnect in the middle of it too.
I know it's freaky. So we can have like this really cool looking stack of hay bales over here that actually looks pretty realistic. And I did that all in like what under a minute using splines. And so this is why I say splines is one of the most underrated Unity packages ever. Because it's
Yeah.
like you can do all this really cool stuff and set up scenes so quickly and no one knows about it. It's like the world's best kept secret. Uh, so that's just kind of like a super duper rough introduction to splines. And what I'm going to show you guys next is just like, I don't know, let's make some cool things with splines. Let's mess around. Let's have a fun time.
Can I pull in a couple of questions before we
Yes,
dive
you
into fun time?
can.
And honestly, like I'm all in. We've got a little less than an hour left on the stream, and the plan right now is just to make cool, fun things. And we put dominoes on there. If anyone else has fun ideas that we can do with the library that we have, throw them in there. Honestly, we had a question that I guess I didn't pull the name from. Apologies. What formats can you import splines from?
I believe you can import splines. I don't actually know if you can import splines from other programs. I
Hmm.
believe that right now you can only use splines that you create inside of Unity. I could be wrong. You may be able to import splines from other programs like Blender or Maya. I'll need to check with that because I've never actually tried doing that. I've only ever made splines inside of Unity. But that's actually a really good question. I'm gonna
Good.
look at that in a sec. Any
I mean,
other burning questions?
we got plenty. Well, I mean, we got two that I've taken down. You've answered quite a few of the questions, which is great. The bull is asking, can you generate this at runtime, say for pathfinding?
You can actually generate splines at runtime using scripting. It has an API that you can find on Unity documentation, and there's a bunch of methods in there for generating splines. It's a little harder because I think you have to specify like the exact like position of where you want each knot to be. But again, if you're using like empty game objects with just like transforms and you're popping them in, it shouldn't be a problem. But answer that question, yes, you can do all of this
Sweet.
at runtime and do like
Excellent.
procedural stuff.
We've got Kiantos saying, can you export the spline? Almost said spleen again. Can you export the spline as one mesh?
Yes, you can kind of. You can bake everything that you created into like a single thing. So like, let me just show you what I mean. Oh my god, my throat is dying. I need water, but I have no
Get
water.
some
That's
water.
okay.
Get some water.
I would have to like run all the way to the
I
kitchen,
mean,
fill something
you
up with
can do that
water.
if you need to. Like, I
Nah.
can chat with the community. That can be something I'm very good at filling time, speaking nonsense. It's what I do best, actually.
Nah, I'm good. Maybe in like 10 minutes I'll do that, but
Got it.
nah, I'm good for now.
Before the
But
dominoes, because there'll be lots of yelling about the dominoes.
lots of yelling about the dominoes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But what I would do to make this all a single mesh is I would hit this bake instances button, and
Mhm.
then what that does is it creates individual objects uh of the stuff in the spline, and then you could like theoretically merge this stuff together either through a script or through something like the asset transformer plugin, or you could just keep it as like a child of the spline here. So like if I wanted to remove the spline component,
Child
now
of
I
the
just have
Blind,
a like
Stephen
a
King short story.
Stephen King short story.
Hmm.
But now I just have this like regular game object with just like, it's a parent game object with all these hay bales. And you can do whatever you want with that. Make it into a prefab, place this everywhere. You can make this into like its own prefab and then put that on a bunch of spline. So if I want to, you're infecting me with the spleen stuff. I'm
It's
like,
tough. I don't know why that's where my brain goes, but it does.
I know it's really getting to me. But like if
Hmm.
I wanted to do like a spline of that, like, can you do what I want? Thank you.
I like that
You
it
could
was
even like,
whoa.
oh God, hold on. My laptop cannot handle this. But
Yeah,
you
you
could
put in a
basically,
lot there. That was ambitious.
I know, but you can really go all out with splines. And that's why I love them.
Cool.
So we've just talked about instantiating stuff, and I want to cover one more thing before we get to fun stuff.
Can I ask
Spline,
you two more questions?
yes, you may.
We just baked some stuff. Noom is asking, is it more performant to bake the stuff that you made using splines?
Um, I I would say it's actually a little less performant. I believe that with
Hmm.
the objects instantiated on the splines, I think they're like because they're not actual objects inside the hierarchy and because they can change with the spline, I believe they actually take up a little less memory. So theoretically, I think it would be more performant to not bake it. It just depends what you need. Like, for example, if you wanted all of these to have like collision, and like, I don't know, if you wanted to throw a bowling ball at this stack of hay to knock it over, you would have to
Hmm.
bake them so that they can all fly around.
Got it.
But yeah, you don't really need to bake it, and I would say it's more performant to just leave it as its spline form.
Sweet.
Any other questions?
I'm going to bring in one more. And Unity community, you guys are asking some great questions. We do have dedicated Q&A set aside at the end. I just had a couple of questions that I knew were kind of topical to what we were discussing. So feel free to continue to ask them and then stick around towards the end of the show. We'll dive into as many questions as we can get through. Also, a big shout out to Dr. Corey Green in the chat from the advocacy team. Thank you for hanging out with us
Hell
today. I
yeah.
know also you're on vacay. So thank you for popping in and spending a little bit of time with the Unity community. Very cool to see. Pulling a handful of questions here, but one I wanted to ask is from Wayne Games says, can we have multiple spline instantiate to multiple objects 100% of the time along the same spline? And then they clarify or summarize, could we have a road, a fence, and a tree along the same spline?
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
So
Sweet.
if you wanted to do that, you could draw a spline. Oh wait, I already have a spline in my scene. What am I doing? You can have items to instantiate here. So if I wanted to do like tree, road, and then like skyscraper. If you're asking about whether we can have them all instantiated on the spline at the same time, that's actually a great question. Uh, the answer to that is yes, you can. If you set everything
Hey.
to 100. But it's gonna look a little weird, especially because my skyscrapers are massive. But yes, you can do that, or you can set it to like 30, 30, 30, so that you only have a couple at a time instantiated. My buildings are massive, so you can't really see. But yeah, I'm getting rid of this. This
Cool.
sucks.
Yep.
But yeah, splines are so magical and so easy and so fun to use that it's like, I don't know. I don't know why like we don't talk about splines more. They're like the most useful tool I've ever used. I don't know if ever used in my life. You know what? Yeah, I'll go on a limb and I'll say that. I think splines are the most useful tool I've ever used in my life. Like I could do without a
Hammers?
screwdriver.
No.
No, I could
Wheels? Get out of here. Have you
no,
guys
I'll
heard of
walk.
splines?
I'll walk.
I'll walk.
I'm fine. I'll take the bus. I'm good. Oh wait, no, a bus has wheels.
Bus has wheels. Yeah.
Ah, god damn it. Uh Yeah, no, but I love splines. They're like my special interest in Unity. Splines. They're amazing. So if there's no more questions, like, and
There
no more
are. We'll hold them
burning,
for later. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna demonstrate to you guys the power of splines by very quickly making a city scene that normally without splines would take me forever to make.
cool.
So I have a couple of prefabs here. I have my purple skyscraper, which, listen, don't talk about the texture. I got it from Google. I have my yellow skyscraper and I have my blue skyscraper. Wow. How
Beautiful.
nice. I have some trees that I found on the asset store from a random Unity pack. Very nice. And I have some roads over here. I have a road without lines. I have a road with lines, and you'll see why I have this one here. And I have a road with a crosswalk. So we're going to do a couple fun things with these assets and make us a very fancy cityscape. So it is time to hit the road and let's make some roads. So I'm going to delete these two over here. And I'm going to go over real quick the spline extrude function. So you've seen how we can place objects. I didn't mean to do that. You see how we can place spline objects on splines, just, in a line, whatever. But something cool is that similar to the pen tool in Unity, we can actually make objects from this spline by itself. So if I come to spline extrude,
Mm.
I can actually just create a whole mesh over here and
Snake.
create like I can make like a snake. I can make a tube. I can make I don't know, what else can I? Oh yeah, I forgot they have road on here. I'm not sure. Oh, it's a little glitchy. That's okay. But you can do a bunch of cool stuff on here. Do road, you could do a spline profile, which I believe is you can make a whole other spline, so you can make a spline of splines.
Whoa.
I know. It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy. Like I said, not for the weak. Unity is not for the weak. You gotta be strong.
I just want on the record, we're not gatekeeping Unity. Everyone can get into
Not
Unity.
gatekeeping
That's the great
Unity.
thing about Unity.
See, if you're in this live stream right now, you are strong
Mm-hmm.
because you made it here.
Also,
So
if you're watching the VOD later.
exactly. If
Yeah.
you're watching the VOD, you're also strong.
Mm-hmm.
So with this like extrusion in mind, I'm going to show you guys how I would use this along with this road here to create like a really cool procedural road. So right now I have this regular prefab with this line here. And if I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be, a road maker, I don't know, a construction worker.
Sure. Roadmaker is great, actually.
I
I
was
like
going to
that.
say like level designer, I don't know. Listen, man, my brain is not fully on, but that's
Right.
okay. So let me draw this nice road here, and I'm going to add my spline instantiate, add my road in there. There it is. And so now we kind of have this, look at that.
Damn.
I made a
That
road.
was easy.
Very cool. But you'll notice it's a little weird. This line here is kind of like, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like it. And I've messed around with this a little bit, and like even if I set things to like a little different, like I don't like that. The lines don't line, they don't line up, and it makes me very angry. So, what I have done is in order to make a truly procedural road where the line doesn't do this is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to select my road with no line. And so it's literally just like road, no lines. You just got to figure it out. Don't hit the
Mm-hmm.
car in next to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set this to like, yeah, something like that is good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to real quick bring this up so we can see it a little better. And I'm going to add a spline extrude on here, which you can do at the same time as the instantiate. And I'm going to make this a little smaller. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. Yeah. Oh, God. And we're gone. I think I just
Yay!
crashed Unity by
That's all
putting
right. Take
in
your
a
time.
big
Take your time.
number.
I'm here to chat with the
Hold
people. Don't even
on.
worry about that. Let me know when you're
Hold
back.
on. Hold on. restarting it. I think
Ah,
putting
you're
in like
good.
a massive number scared Unity, and it started
That
like
happens. That happens.
calculating a 100-sided
Yeah.
like polygon, and it was just like I
Yeah.
can't do that. I'm done.
Altaler on the Twitch side asking, splines are a free tool in Unity 6.3, or is it an asset? It's not even 6.3, right? This has been in here a long time, and people just nobody knows about it.
Free package.
Free package manager.
Oh, my road
Right.
is gone.
That's okay, because that's the beauty of splines, is it's quick and easy to get it back.
You are so right. I'm
I
gonna
know.
make this. I'm gonna make this real quick. Why are we dividing by 0? I don't know. None of my business. Let me go to Spline instantiate. Pop my, where's my stream assets? Where's my prefabs? Pop my road back in there. All right, I have to click this button. I can't just put it on that. There we go. Got my road. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully not type in a big number. We're not going to repeat that incident. I'm going to very carefully add component, spline extrude. 1. That's not what I wanted. 2. Why is it? You know,
Why
it's
is
so
it
crazy.
neon?
You know, when I was doing this on my own, getting
Yeah.
ready for like everything, it
Yep.
wasn't doing that.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
believe that.
I'm
That's
not
the
gonna.
beauty of doing things live. That's exactly what happens.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna make the radius smaller. I don't even want to
Sure.
deal with that right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So now we have this cool line here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna real quick make a new material. This is going to be yellow line. I'm going to make this yellow. There we go. Come back to my spline, swap out the material, and now I have a road with a yellow line that is fully procedural. So if I want
Whoa.
to move this road around using the spline tool, I can essentially make my road however long I want, wherever I want, and the line will just make itself, which is my favorite part of this road here because
Cool.
what it was doing before with the line was not cool. So if you wanted to make a game like in the vein of like, yeah, SimCity, you could totally do that with
That is
Spline.
exactly where my brain is going. Every time you're drawing a line, you're like, now I have a road. I'm like, I feel like we're in SimCity right now. This is great.
Yeah. So if you're ever interested in creating one of those city builder games or like tycoon games where you create like a city or I don't know, you want to make road manager simulator, I think I would actually play that. I would play road manager simulator.
There you go. So if you guys want to take that idea and run with it, you've got one purchase from Sarah.
That would actually be so sick. You could like go
Yeah.
around fixing potholes and like closing the road for construction and stuff. The way that would be so sick
You got
actually.
to
Can
put out the
someone make
cones so
roads?
that traffic stops. And
Yeah, can someone make like traffic police simulator? Not even traffic police, like traffic. What do you call the guys who do the stuff on the road? I actually don't know.
construction workers.
Construction worker, Department of Transportation, Department of Roads. Someone make a
Sure.
simulator. I want to play
Just
that.
just do it. Just make it.
Just make it. But that is one really cool aspect of splines that I do love. And the final thing that I'm gonna do, just kind of on this city topic, is I'm going to make a really cool cityscape design using splines with my
Hmm.
skyscrapers here, my trees, and my road.
Sweet.
So,
While you set that up, can I interrupt with a quick question here?
yes, you can.
From Twitch, Brinitiative, great name. If I wanted to add a side street that the player could turn to, would it be a separate spline, or is there a way to have a split? Could you break it off and
Oh,
redirect it?
that is a good question. I
Hmm.
actually wonder if I could go into here. I don't know if you can actually split splines. I believe that if I wanted to, okay, so I just closed it, but if I wanted to make like a side street, that's a good question. How would I do that? I could probably do like a, hmm, I'm gonna have to think about that on how you can split splines
Sure.
because the nature of splines is that they are like one continuous line. So
Yeah.
I would say if you wanted to do like a side street, you'd probably have to just duplicate this spline, make a new one. Let me get rid of some of these knots over here. And like, let me just draw. Come over here. Let me draw. me select my spline tool, and I would just probably draw more splines coming out of there. So like, let me add that.
Sure.
Yeah, so I would just probably do something like this, where you just
Cool.
make the new street with a brand new spline. Like, yeah, you could do something like this is a bit of a crazy turn, but you know, kind of works. And I should add there is like snapping elements. So if you wanted to have this like snap to this spline over here, Unity can do that for you.
Cool.
Which I think is really cool. Again, if you're building like a city builder game, you can have things just like snap in place. But yeah, you can make a bunch of roads with splines. I think they're fun.
Cool.
Um,
Sarah, you'll be happy to know that people named your game. The
really,
Bull has called it Traffic Warden. Shout out to all the wardens.
traffic
And then
warden,
Davina said Road Agent was apparently an old
road
name for
agent,
bandits, but like Road Agent could be cool too. Those are good names
road
for
agent.
for the game that you want to play. Like a rogue agent, you know what I mean? Like there's some wordplay in there
Oh,
too. I don't think it was intentional, but that's kind of fun. Traffic Warden though, I like.
traffic warden.
Yeah.
That's a good
Someone go
one.
make Traffic Warden.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I've distracted enough. Let's make a cityscape around this road, please.
No, you are totally fine. I welcome distractions because I think they're fun. So, what I'm going to do real quick is in order to make this cityscape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to using the same spline here, I'm going to add another spline instantiate. And when I've done like a little bit of testing, Unity got kind of mad at me, so I'm going to hope that doesn't happen again. Oh yeah, this is what I mean. It's starting to get a little hairy. But I'm going to just increase the distance. So now we have our buildings here. Uh yeah, something like that is fine. I'm going to do a little bit of position offset. So I'm going to have them slightly off of the road like
Smart.
so. Yeah. That's perfect. I'm going to move this. You know what? I'm going to make a new plane cuz I hate the way this looks. This is making me so sad.
That it's off the plane, that it's just
Yeah.
kind of floating.
It's making me really sad.
It's bumming you out.
It's hurting me.
There we go.
I'm going to make this like a massive. There we go. Perfect. So now we have just created some buildings along this road. I'm going to find my spline here. There we go. And I'm actually going to copy this component. So I'm going to copy component, add component, spline instantiate, paste component values. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but in the other direction. So now we have buildings on both sides. I just turned on caps lock. So now you can see we already have this like really cool road over here with all these buildings. You can see my buildings are like kind of sitting under it. Let me just fix that a little bit. Yeah, I'll do like 5.6. Let me go to the other one. Where's the other one? Is it here? I'm already losing all my buildings. Yeah, when you start to do a lot of stuff with splines, the hierarchy can get really cluttered really quickly. So definitely keep track of where everything is. Oh, it's right. It's in the same thing. So 5.63. And then let me move my road down just a little bit so that it's not sticking out of the ground.
Little
There we go.
hover. Never hurt
Yeah.
anyone.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's way better. So now we have
Perfect.
this road kind of snaking through. We have these buildings, and I'm just going to keep building on this. Pun not intended. And I'm
Gross.
going to uh just make this a little more diverse and add some different color buildings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag in my purple and blue over here. And let's do 33, 33, 33. Get like an equal amount of each building.
Cool.
I'm going to do the same thing over here. Blue. No. Purple. There we go. 33, 33, 33. And I already have this kind of cool looking road over here with all these buildings around it. And the best part is that it's all procedural. You can move it around, you can change it, and it'll just automatically make new stuff.
Cool.
Again, most underrated package ever. Most useful tool ever made. Forget
Ever
the
made.
screwdriver, forget the wrench. Forget everything you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's at.
This is the pinnacle of human engineering.
This is it. And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm kind of not liking how my city doesn't have a lot of like greenery. I don't know.
Gotta have
I
some
like,
greenery.
Yeah, I like having some trees on the side of my road, so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come into my spline. This is starting to get a little messy, so I'm gonna make some of these. Yeah, there we go. Just to make it a little easier on the eyes. And I'm going to add another spline instantiate. And again, this is getting hairy because we're starting to really add a lot of objects. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over a little bit. Yeah, let me move it. Yeah, we'll get like a nice line of trees right
That's a
there.
beautiful city.
I
Could live here.
know. Got some greenery and like to make it really, really cool. I'm gonna like, which one will turn that? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's do 0 to 360. So each tree is facing like a different way.
Oh,
Can do a
great.
scale offset. So each tree is like a different, like, yeah, different tree heights. So
Yeah, I was
0
wondering if you
to
could do that with like the buildings as well, so that whoa, sorry, I got distracted by the trees.
oh
All of the
god.
buildings are uniform height, so I didn't know if there was a way that you could be like, no, 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 make them slightly different along the path.
You can do that. Like, you know,
What
just
you
that
just did
I feel
with
like these
trees.
trees are way too tall. There we go. That's a little better. So now we have this nice row of trees over here, and I'm actually gonna duplicate this because I want this again. I want to have trees on both sides.
Smart.
So I'm gonna copy component, add component, spline instantiate, paste component values.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. There we go. This is the one I want. And now I'm going to move these trees over to positive 2.58. So now I have a row of trees on both sides. And I'm going to do
Yeah.
what you suggested with the building. I'm going
Okay.
to real quick come into my spline, which is getting real heavy. Every time I like try and move around, my computer is crying, but it's okay. It can take
We'll
it.
make sure to get rid of our cityscape before we try Domino's, if we still have time for that at the end.
Exactly. So let me do random from 0 to 1. Maybe let's do like, yeah. That's perfect. And then I'll do the same on the other side. So where's my other set of skyscrapers? Here it is. 0 to 100. Nice. And so now we have this like very
Cool.
procedurally generated cityscape with different buildings of different colors and the trees and the road,
In 15
all
minutes.
all done using splines. And again, like I said, procedural, so you can drag this. Oh, yeah, be careful when you're dragging it out. It
You're
gets a
gonna
little,
crash your computer again.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's because there's so many objects and it's like it's struggling to keep up. But you can do it. You
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead and change this path here and make it wherever you want. If you wanted to make it a little less heavy, I would probably make these all different objects. I think having it all on one object is not the smartest idea. I was just kind of doing it to show you guys. But you can have like entirely procedural city designs as long as it's on a straight line with splines. And I think this is like the coolest stuff ever. Like we made this in 15 minutes. If we want to change it around, make it a different length, we can do that. If we want to change any aspect of it, we can do it all on one object. And again, once we're done, if we want to bake it, now we can go in and edit each thing individually. We can even turn it into like one mesh if we want.
Oh my
It's like
God.
a thousand.
1,200 of them?
Yeah, 1,200 objects. No wonder Unity was crying for its life.
Yeah, no wonder it's mad at you.
Yeah, my fault.
That's my bad. Sorry, Unity Engine.
I know, my
Apologies.
bad. So, with that, want to make some dominoes?
Yeah.
Let's make some
Um,
dominoes.
yeah. We've got more
Any
questions coming in. Continue to ask them. Um, we'll continue to find opportunities. The bull's asking, are the objects static, or could you in theory use it to spawn enemies along a path?
Oh, you can in fact spawn enemies along a spline. Yes. You would have to use a script for that, and I don't know the exact like off the top of my head how you would do that with the script, but you can do that. You can spawn things along random points in the spline if you so like through a script.
Cool. Samurai Dev, great to see you again. Asking, can we use that package for UI?
Oh, that is a good question. I don't
Mhm.
believe you can use splines in UI as of right now. I believe splines are only going to be in the world space. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to do something like this, you would probably have to use something like UI Toolkit. And I'm not sure what in there could replicate splines, but no splines in UI for now.
Yeah. We've got Sparks asking, is it possible to deform the geometry of a mesh along a spline?
Is it possible to deform the geometry of a mesh along a spline? Are you asking like, I would probably have to ask like a follow-up question. Are you asking like whether I could deform the mesh from like doing the extrusion or whether like from objects placed along the spline? And
Let me know,
we
Sparks, if you got a follow up. Give us a shout.
yeah, we can wait for you to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I just made a donut.
I saw it. It made me very happy very quickly.
I
I'm
like it.
hungry now.
I like it a lot.
Keep asking questions, gang. We're keeping track. We're gonna make sure that we answer as many as we possibly can. But we're gonna go into extra credit now. Sarah's gonna make us a domino path, and we're gonna.
Oh yeah, it's Domino's time. We could just make it like the entire length of this. Screw it. Let's do that. So we're gonna start like over here. We're gonna make it super long, super curvy. There we go. Oh, I would love to use this to like build a Rube Goldberg machine. That would be
Oh,
so
would be
fun.
so fun.
I know. Let me come over here. Make this just crazy looking. I don't think I can do dominoes going up. I don't think dominoes in the air would work.
I think they would probably just drop, right?
Yeah, especially because we have to add physics to this. I don't think things can float.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think that's a crazy enough path.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to instantiate, add our, what did I use before? That was like, oh, it was the wall. It was the wall.
Yeah.
It was the wall.
Sparks actually does follow up with their question. Again, the initial question being, is it possible to deform the geometry of a mesh along a spline? And they said, for example, for a section of the road on a curve, if you wanted to scale the inside of a turn smaller than the outside, having that one larger.
Ooh, that's a good question. You could probably do that using a script. I don't know if you can do that just using like the inspector tools.
Gotcha.
And I'm not diving into like spline scripting in this video. In this live stream.
I mean, it's both.
Uh, yeah, it will be a video eventually. But that would probably be something you have to do like in a script. Yeah. All right. So now we have our domino set up.
I looked away for 2 seconds, and now we have a full set of dominoes.
I know. Okay, this may break everything, but I'm gonna
Thought it might.
try doing this. Let me go ahead and add, oh God, oh no, 3,000 game objects. I'm gonna add a rigid body to all of them, and I'm gonna add a collider to all of them. Oh, that looks a little weird. No. Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do.
Again, we've done this actually, Sarah. I think we've done this more with you than almost anyone else, where we get to a point in the stream where we're like, hey, what if we just try something unscripted that was not planned ahead of time?
Because it's so fun.
And it is. So again, everybody is aware that this is extra credit. We didn't plan for this ahead of time, and that we're gonna make it work as best to the best of our abilities, but it might not.
Yeah, I did not even consider the fact that we could use this to make dominoes, but now that you've said it, I'm like invested in this. I want to use this to make dominoes. And this is the best part of being a video game developer. You can just do whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, come back, collider. There we go. I think that's,
I know we have someone asking, can we draw a spline upward in all 3Ds, in all 3 dimensions? I know that we covered that a little bit earlier as well, but we're not going to be able to draw it straight up. Instead, Sarah, you went in and manually adjusted the X, Y, and Z values, correct?
yeah, you have to manually adjust it.
Welcome to Canada.
Oh my God, you Canadians. See, I'm an American. I'm so used to saying Z for everything. And so I actually got told, because I don't remember what I was doing. I was doing like an expert lab or something. And I got told at the end, like, hey, just for next time, I noticed you were saying X, Y, and Z you might want to say X, Y, and Z. And I'm like,
Nah.
why?
That person's being inflexible. They can adjust to they know what you're saying. They're just being nitpicky. Also,
I
I'll
think it's
say, while I say Z in Canada, it ruins things. Like World War Z is not a good name of a movie or book. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
Thank you to Jack for adding production value by making a new overlay on the fly. The best in the biz.
Let's play dominoes. Wow.
Yep.
That's some skill. Let me do rigid body. There we go. Now I'm hoping that this all works. So if I go in here and oh yeah, it has a collider now.
All
So
of them?
I'm gonna, yeah, they all do.
Shoot, love
So
that.
I'm gonna see what happens if I press play, and I'm a little scared. So
Did you
I'm gonna
save?
move. No, I did not. That's a good point. All right, let me press play. I don't know what it's gonna do. Okay,
So
we're
I haven't
good.
fallen. That's a good start.
Okay, I'm gonna. I don't even know how I would like tip this over. I guess I gotta like. I don't know. So do they have
There you
gravity?
go.
Yes, they do. So
Guys,
I'm just
just
going to rotate it.
there we go.
Here we go.
Follow it.
Oh
Chase it.
my god,
Oh
it
my
actually
goodness.
works.
This took 2 minutes.
And we've made dominoes. They're a little
This is fun.
slow.
Follow it the whole way. This run could be 6 minutes. They could take longer to watch all the
6-minute
dominoes
long
fall
dominoes.
than it took to set them up.
Probably. But you
I'm
could
into it.
totally do this in like a very physics-based Rube Goldberg type of game where like you have a bunch of dominoes and they knock a ball over and the ball
Yeah.
goes and like like I don't
Follow
know
it.
if you yeah, I don't know if you guys ever like watch like the Reddit stories on like TikTok where they have like the Rube Goldberg machines in the background and like the balls are falling everywhere. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at like our little chat with Jack over here. You could totally like draw pictures with this. Make like cool. I'm like sorry, I'm like entranced by this. This is
No, it's
nuts.
great. Honestly, like if we sit quietly and just watch this. Jack, can we get a little lo-fi? Can we get a little lo-fi to go with our domino set? And we just all like take a second out of your day, everybody, and
Watch
just
these.
relax. Hold on, let me take over. I'll guide everyone on some meditation.
Okay.
Everybody, you are exactly where you need to be today. You are here with us in the live stream, the Unity live streams. You are here because you have a desire to learn, to better yourself, to connect with your fellow Unity community, and it is everything that you need in your day. You are doing everything exactly right. It might not feel like it in every moment of your day. However, just remind yourself that you are fulfilling all of your needs. You are growing as an individual simply by being here. You are forming lasting memories. You will return to this community in future feeling stronger and more connected. There's nothing that you can't accomplish with enough time, energy, and dedication. There are people to help you along the way, people like Sarah, people internal to Unity, people that are just hanging out in the chat that are eager to help you as you go. Just keep working towards your goals, and I'm sure in no time you will accomplish everything that you need.
That was crazy.
Wow, look at us. Who expected that today?
Guided meditation dominoes.
Yeah. Andrew just asked, did we join a domino cult?
Yeah, this is how to make dominoes in Unity, guys. That was the whole stream. I hope you
Yeah.
guys got something out of it. I hope you guys go on and make some really cool dominoes games. Yeah. If you have any more questions about dominoes, you can, let me know. I'm a dominoes expert. Happy to answer any
I cannot
questions.
believe how long this will take. I mean, we can let the
still
dominoes roll and we can just answer questions, right?
We could do that. We could, you know what? I kind of want to set a timer, see how long it'll take. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I could
We'll
make
keep
it
it
like
going.
fall a little faster if I increase
Yeah.
the mass of this.
Bagardi Tech
Oh
asking
no.
if you double gravity.
I could double gravity.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it's doing it in real time. That's so sad. I'd probably have to
Sure.
like exit play mode and
No,
redo
we
it.
gotta keep going. We'll just keep it
And
going.
we're gonna have to watch it all over again.
No, terrible. We won't do that though.
Hit me with some questions.
We got some questions here. Altalter, I'm sure I'll get that right one day. Says, can we decorate walls with splines? Like, could we put posters, photos, and kind of space those out along the
You
walls?
definitely could.
Love
I don't want to like disturb the dominoes, but like if you wanted to do something like that, you could just make a spline, put it against a wall, and then just like pop posters on it, making sure that they're facing the right way. And you can spread them out evenly. You can have them like rotated a little bit in case the posters are like a little off. You could have them at different sizes. You could put like, yeah, you could totally do that. Do like
Cool.
procedural poster placement. That's actually really cool.
I dig that. Conagil, I hope I'm saying the name right. I'm almost certain I'm not. Maybe Conagil says, can this be used for conveyor belts?
Ooh, you could definitely use splines to make conveyor belts.
Sweet.
Like if you mean like the actual like conveyor belt object itself, you could totally do that. But if you want to make like a conveyor belt that moves objects along, like animate along the spline, you could definitely do that too. Spline
Sweet.
animation would be great for that. Yes.
I dig it. Andrew the Day says, I've used Unity's built-in helper functions to make it easier to find the closest point to a line or plane. Is there anything to help you find the closest point to a spline?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think you could
Mm-hmm.
definitely do that with scripting. Just the way that splines are. A spline is technically a game object with individual knots in an array. And I believe that you can, excuse me, you can actually find any point on like the tangent of a knot. Uh, like you can find. I know what you mean. I'm like thinking about it now,
You
how
got
I
it.
would want to do that. But yes, I believe you can actually do that. I believe there is a world in which you can find the closest point to a spline by accessing the information from the knots and either finding like the closest knot and like approximating from there, or by finding like any point on the knot's tangent. Although that you'd have to look a little more into that. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
how to do that on the fly.
perfect. Bagardi Tech seems to have some mathing for you.
Oh no.
No, in helping solve the question we're currently talking about.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just going to throw
okay.
that in chat, and if that helps people, good, good.
Yeah, I think something like
Um,
that would involve like some math, some trigonometry.
cool. And SNA3 says there's a sample which does exactly that. It finds the nearest point. So the info's out there. There's space for you.
Oh, I forgot that there were samples with the splines. Oh, I should have covered
I
that.
also am.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying that as you're answering questions and pointing and opening menus and alluding to numbers, you're also chasing the domino stack. So thank you for keeping that for us here.
I have the world's worst ADHD.
You're doing great.
This is exactly how my mind works. So
It's perfect.
I will triple task.
It's great. You're doing great. Couple more questions here. The bull asking, happen to know any interesting uses for terrain generation with these? It feels like it must have a use there, but I might just be overcomplicating it.
Ooh, terrain generation. I
Hmm.
actually am not I don't work with Unity's terrain tools too often, so I'm not sure if they exactly work together. But if I were to guess, I bet that you could probably use terrains, turn stuff into prefabs, and then use splines with them. That's actually a really good. Yeah, I never actually thought about how you could use splines with the terrain tool. That might actually be like a extra credit for some of you. See if you can use splines with terrains and either like turn stuff into prefabs and instantiate on a spline, or if you could like use scripting to instantiate terrains on the spline. Ooh, you just gave me like a bunch of ideas. See, this is why I love streaming because like people ask these questions that I've never even thought of. And
Yeah.
then I'm like already thinking of like, ooh, how could I do that using like code or how could I do that in Unity? Keep
Yeah.
asking these questions. I love these.
The group think, the group efforts, you're going to see these things in the expert labs sessions coming up as a result. Good job, everybody.
Yes.
Um, Cantos asking, is there a way to know how much memory this would take at runtime and then cap it for targeting mobile devices, for example?
That's a good question. I don't believe that the if you've ever I assume you've used stuff like the profiler before. I don't know if the profiler Yeah, so the profiler unfortunately doesn't have anything for splines itself, but I would say like definitely do some profiling, see, how your game is running with the splines, how your game is running without the splines.
Little A/B testing.
Yeah, a little bit of A/B testing. I'm not too sure on like how to optimize splines just yet. That would probably be more of a question for like the splines team because the spline package does have a team. There's a
Cool.
team that like maintains it. I don't
We'll get them.
recall off the. Yeah, you could definitely find them around on like find them on forums and stuff. Yeah, they're there to answer like optimization questions because I'm sure
Listen,
there's a way to
everybody.
optimize it.
Discussions is a great opportunity for you to not only connect with fellow Unity community members, but ask questions in there because the Unity engineers, the people working on these tools and these features, they're in there as well. So if you want an answer to a really specific feature question, there's a chance you'll get one by asking in discussion. So go and check that out.
Yes, engineers are like actively monitoring forums, and a lot of the times, if someone asks a question on a forum and there's no response, some people from Unity will sometimes like ping that engineer to be like, "Hey, did you see this? What do you
Yep.
think?" So I can like tell this person.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you have like a very very specific question about splines and you go on the forum, like I would say most of the time you can expect to get a answer from like someone who actually like works on this stuff, which I think
Yeah.
is super awesome.
Yeah, right. It's so cool. Like we're so fortunate, for example, Shader Graph Day, having Ben come on, the person who helps create
Oh,
these tools and these
Ben is a
resources.
legend.
Woo, right? So those people exist as well. They're just not always on live streams. They're not always I mean, not everybody's a Ben. You know what I mean? Ben, diamond in the rough, but there are people eager to kind of help with those
Oh
pieces
yeah. I
of
actually I actually used one of Ben's videos like last night to prep for the expert lab for Shader Graph. His
yeah,
videos are so good.
and it's so good.
Am I allowed
Oh,
to do
I
like an unofficial
so
Ben shout out?
no, I do an official one. So, Sarah, it's so interesting you bring this up. Every time we brought Ben on, Ben is so, again, eager to help everybody and also humble. So, there's been from day one, I've been like, Ben, and we can promo your channel. He's like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Like, I don't need to do that. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do that repeatedly. So, there's already a command. We've put Ben's YouTube channel
You
here.
have a
Go check
Ben
out the tutorials.
command?
Yeah. Exclamation
That's
point
so
Ben.
sick.
Boom. Everybody gets Ben's YouTube link. Go and check out info on shader graph optimization, different tools. It's great. Go learn everything from Ben.
He is so awesome. Like if
Absolutely.
we're on the Ben tangent, I like once asked him for help because I was running another expert lab about like shader graph using like UI, and I was like, "Hey, can I like use some stuff from your videos, like giving credit, take some concepts?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, of course. You don't even need to give credit." And I'm like, "No, I'm
Yeah.
giving you credit because you are awesome and you
Ben's
are."
just eager to help people learn and grow and use the stuff that he works on. Like it's so cool to see. I've said it a million times. If I had 5 Bens, my job of creating content on these channels and giving everybody exactly what they need would be so much easier.
I know.
Yeah, Noom says, wait, optimization stuff? Yes, he just recently started a series on optimization. So go and check it out.
Yes.
Incredibly tight tutorials, 15 to 20 minutes, I believe, most videos. You'll learn so much over there. And then come
And
back and see Ben on Shader Graph Day here, usually once a month.
he explains
Um,
everything so perfectly. Like
so
I like how we just spent a solid like 2 minutes just like tangenting about Ben, how great he is.
listen, I mean, Ben makes great things.
Oh,
Helps us make great things. Are we at the end?
dominoes are done.
Wow, what a time! What a time. Let's shut it down. The stream's over. We did it. We do have one or two more questions here. Thetra over on the Twitch side saying, hey, I just used Splines for my 40th game jam last week. It was
Ooh.
very nice with the instanced add-on to get, no, sorry, instantiate add-on to get random mountains around my map and to spawn random gaps, maybe, on the ground. I was just wondering, question, is it possible to make the spline to react to a crossing if a road spline and another one crosses, they said a crossroad and not two straight lines, to have them, I guess, like
Ooh.
snap two?
I actually don't know for sure. I think probably through scripting, you could probably create like a new spline and like forcefully add those knots in there.
Hmm.
I don't know though. I don't know if you can like necessarily create like a multi-pronged spline. Like you were saying, like having the spline react to having another spline cross it. That would probably have to be something custom that you kind of code yourself, which I know for a lot of people is kind of intimidating. So I would say if you're not super comfortable with coding, I would say it'd be a little difficult, but there may be a feature with splines that I just don't know about because I'm not like the splines expert. You could ask like the spline developers themselves if they have something, which I'm not sure. Check the documentation for splines. Just click through it
Sure.
and see if there's anything you can do. I'm not
Awesome.
sure.
If anyone has any last minute questions, now is the time to get in here with them. Otherwise, we're going to slowly wind some things down. Sarah, what I have to say, what I've loved about every single session we've had together, if anyone asks a question, you react with like a great deal of excitement towards everything. Whether you have the answer and it's an easy one, if it's something that you're like, oh, I have the answer, but it's more complex, I'll lead you somewhere else. Or even if you're like, I actually don't know, but that's really like you seem excited by every engagement and every opportunity to help kind of share your knowledge. So absolutely love that. We need more of that in the streams.
Appreciate it. Listen,
Yeah.
I love questions because it gets me thinking too, and it gives me great ideas like, "Oh, I wonder if you could make a spline that reacts to another spline." Like, I don't know. That
Yeah.
would be sick. I'm big on curiosity and exploration
Sweet.
and testing.
Love it. We have one last question that's kind of come in under the gun here, but we also are pretty much. I think we discussed this, but just for a quick summary for Abel, does Unity's spline system allow for deforming meshes? That was, I believe, the question we had about like the corners of the
Oh,
roads.
right, right. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if you can deform meshes like that using splines. I
Okay,
believe it would have to be something that you do through a script by taking information from the spline itself and applying that to the mesh.
gotcha.
So I'm going to say solid, not sure.
Cool. A big old maybe.
Big ol' maybe. Unity
I love it.
discussions might be a great place for you to
My
ask
goodness.
that.
My goodness. Unity Discussions is the place. Go and check it out. So, again, Sarah, thank you so much, not only for today's stream, but for all of the other ones we've done together and for being here for my last one.
Of
I'm so
course.
fortunate. Thank you
It
for all
is
that you do here.
It is an honor to be here for your last stream. I'm sure everyone in the community is gonna miss you. It's been
Uh,
fun. You're always like a great host.
Thank you so much.
And I'm gonna miss you when you go to the big Twitch chat in the sky, you know? I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you guys too. Yeah, I mean, Sarah, continue to do streams. Like I said, we've got people working behind the scenes to get everything together. So continue to be here. You're an absolute positive force here,
Oh
a
yeah.
wealth of knowledge, and you know exactly how to speak to the community. So that's fantastic. Keep being a part of this Unity community. Keep coming back. There will be many, many other things for you to learn here and many other people to connect with. So as we kind of wind down, a reminder to people that this is my last stream here with the Unity community. I'm moving on to a different opportunity. I want everyone to be aware there's absolutely no bad blood here. I have loved my time here, both with the internal community and collaborators, the external devs that I've gotten to work with, and of course, all of the Unity community that's here for these streams. Whether you're here for everyone or you're here occasionally, you're new, you've been here for years, whatever it may be, you guys form a fantastic community. And I'm not lying to you when I say there is a tremendous number of devs that I have connected with in my time here that have said, and it's continued to be true, the best thing about Unity is the community. Do you know what I mean? Like you guys all being here and being willing to engage with each other, connect, help each other, that is what has made it so very strong. So the streams will continue. You will have this space to keep coming back to. Keep an eye on the YouTube and Twitch channels for your next opportunity. I know that the next stream is already planned for next week. So come on back for that. We actually have perfect. Thank you, Jack. We've got lighting for pixel art. It is a new Learn Team course, lighting for 2D pixel art. It's very, very fun. We've done a handful of these in the past. They've been really awesome. We're going to bring in Joy, who's been show running and will be hosting this stream, and is bringing in a couple of people, Aaron and Luna, who you might know from the Learn Team in the past. So come on back for that next week. Show some support for those people as well, because they are taking on on. A lot of new responsibility with picking up the slack and running with it for the live stream. So come on back. Like I said, you'll continue to have opportunities here. And again, if you wanted to stay in touch with me, come on over to my own Twitch channel. I'm there 3 days a week right now playing Silent Hill 2, twitch.tv/flanneljax. I will miss all of you, genuinely. Like being able to come together and start to recognize all of these names and the familiar faces, etc. Thank you all so very much for being fantastic, because genuinely, this has been such a dream for me. It's been so fun to create these pieces of content and to be able to host and be in front of this camera and connect with each of you once or twice a week. It's been absolutely incredible for me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very grateful. And again, thank you to everybody who's collaborated on streams in my time here, whether you see this or not, Sarah and all of the other collaborators. It's been a pleasure to work with you all. And a massive shout out to Jack, who works behind the scenes so tirelessly to put on each and every one of these streams. And Jack will continue to be here, so expect that high level quality that you've come to expect. So it'll keep rolling. So again, everybody, thank you so very much. I'll be around, like I said, no bad blood, and I'm excited for the streams to continue. I'm hoping to hop in as just a community member, so maybe you'll see me in the chat in future as well. So again, everybody, for I suppose the last time, a shout out and thank you to everybody for being here and to everybody making this stream possible. My name is Jackson. Have a great rest of your day.